the go statement. And the go statement, I think most people have used SQL Server at all. They know the go statement is a batch separator, and it's used in SQL Server Management Studio, or it can be used in some other tools to separate it out. And it says basically take the things between the set of go statements and run that as a single batch. And then because there's no go statements between these inserts down below, it runs that whole thing as a single batch. But let's say I want to do this insert here, and I'm trying to build a test table out to test some load or something like that, and I want to put in 1,000 rows into that table. I can just take that insert statement and say go 1,000, and it says take that previous batch up to the previous go statement or whatever's highlighted there and run it 1,000 times. So when we execute that and we go look at the messages window, we can see one row affected, and this is going to run for a little bit until all 1,000 rows have been inserted. And there it is, it finished, 1,000 rows inserted, and we go back over here, and if we select it from that table, there's now 1,000 rows more than there were there before. So the go statement with a number after it is basically saying do a loop that just repeats that previous chunk of code that many times. Super handy when you're trying to, well, for a lot of different reasons, but I use it a lot when I'm trying to fill out like a demo or a sample database with test data, stuff like that. There's another feature which is kind of handy, which is the display results in a separate tab. Normally, when you run something in Management Studio and you hit execute, oh, by the way, F5 is the hotkey for execute. If somebody wants to run a query and they're using their mouse to go up here and hit execute this way, that's just too slow for me. So F5 is the hotkey I use for execute, and you just hit F5 and it runs your query. But normally when you do that, when you run a query, it splits it where your query results appear down below. But there's an option, and let's go back to the select statement here, where we have our editor still in full screen mode, our results in another tab, and then our messages window showing up here, and if we had execution planned, it shows another tab. But that shows up as the results in a different window, which can be really handy for demo purposes like this. But also if you're on a small screen or something and you're fighting with the split screen there, it's a handy way to be able to see the full grid. And the way you go to get to that is you go into Tools, Options, and then you go into Query Results, SQL Server, General, or here it is, Results to Grid, and it says Display Results in a separate tab. If you get rid of that, then it makes it go back to the half and half display that you would normally see kind of out of the freshly installed version of SQL Server Management Studio. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.